Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Hayden and today's video is all about the things I did not like so much about the Independence of the Seas, which was my first Royal Caribbean experience in October 2022, right after this. So, as I mentioned before, this is going to be the top things I did not like so much about my experience with the Independence of the Seas on my first Royal Caribbean cruise in October 2022. We boarded the Independence of the Seas for a 4-night Perfect Day at Coco Cay and Nassau, Bahamas cruise out of Port Canaveral, Florida. We had a day at sea in between both of our ports. And we also had my very first medical emergency at sea, which is very cool to see happen. Overall, the cruise was great. A lot of positives came out of the cruise, which there will be a video of the top positive things of the cruise, and it'll be linked down in the description or in the comment section whenever I upload it, which will be right after this video. So stay tuned for the things I did not like so much about the Independence of the Seas. Okay, so the first thing I did not like so much about the Independence of the Seas was the long service time that we had on the ship. So, a couple times in the dining room, we ate in the dining room every night of the 4-day cruise, and we had a party of 9, and we were all family. And we had exceptionally long wait times for stuff the first night of the cruise. They did progress on as the cruise went on. It got better as the cruise went on, but in the beginning, it was long wait times for food, drinks. We had to order drinks multiple times for them to bring them. And that was not the only time that we had this issue. We went to the Far Forward Lounge on deck 5, the Star Lounge, a lot of times for karaoke or some little game shows, and like Name That Tune. And when we would order a drink, we would either have to order it by multiple bar staff or order it from the same person multiple times in order to get the drink. Like, I think it took me 25 minutes to get a Diet Coke one night, which was longer than I'm used to on previous cruises. So that was one thing I noticed that was a little bit different about this cruise and we did not like so much. Another thing that I would say would be a big letdown would be the entertainment. Now, the first night of the cruise, they had a welcome aboard show, and on previous cruise lines, the welcome aboard show has been the exact same thing for every cruise that we've been on. Same music, pretty much the same idea of what it is. And we were kind of expecting a show similar to that with Independence of the Seas. This one was not. The welcome aboard show on this specific cruise, maybe it's ship specific like their main production shows are, but this was not a main production show. This welcome aboard show was 2 soloists that sang songs from like 60s to present day. And it was by far the absolute worst show I have seen to date. I don't know if the singers were just out of tune, but they were not, up to par. I've always looked at Royal Caribbean as being, the elegant level of bargain cruising. And this kind of was a bad first impression on the show entertainment. Luckily, the rest of the shows were amazing, but more on that in the positive things about the cruise, which, like I said before, will be linked in the description box below when I upload it. Another thing about the entertainment would be, there wasn't a whole lot after the production show for the night. So, like, on other cruise lines, there would be, like, comedy shows, trivia's going on, live music. There was definitely some live music in like the Schooner Bar and I think Boleros, but that was really it. And they did karaoke every night. So the Star Lounge and Sorrento's and Boleros were the place to be for nightlife if you wanted something indoors. Now, they did do a movie every night on the big screen upstairs on the pool deck, And we did enjoy a few nights up there watching a movie and being in the hot tub. But other than that, that was the only nightlife on the ship. They did do one night a promenade thing, a 70s promenade night, which was cool. But that was the only thing. On another cruise line, you would have deck parties every night and rock that promenade and all kinds of stuff. This was a little bit different. This was more of a laid-back vibe at night. Another complaint I would have from the cruise would be the actual ship itself. Now, overall, and I'm going to talk about this once again in the all the positive things video, but the ship itself did look in need of repair in certain areas. It definitely needed to be repainted in some areas. Our stateroom, which is going to be a whole separate video, was a little bit outdated, but I have been used to that because the one time I had a updated cabin was a few cruises back. And if you guys are interested in a video of me talking about the cruises that I have been on and stuff like that, let me know down below and I might make a video about that. But the cabin, and so honestly, I think the ship does need some updating. I know she is redeploying in October 2023. So I don't know if they're updating her before she moves or not, or while she's still in Port Canaveral, but she needs a little bit of upgrading. But other than that, she was great. And we didn't, even in the 4-day cruise, we did not get to see the whole ship and do everything. This ship is not the biggest ship in the world, and this is not the smallest ship in the world. She is a pretty decent sized ship for modern day. The last thing I would probably complain about would be the itinerary. Now, we love cruising out of Port Canaveral because it's a little bit of a drive for us, but it's very convenient for us to drive to, and we tend to get pretty decent deals out of Port Canaveral, and there's a lot of ship options. However, it goes to, in my opinion, the worst port in the Caribbean that I've been to, Nassau, Bahamas, and Coco Cay, and that is only the places it goes. I'm going to do a whole separate video about Perfect Day at Coco Cay and a port guide video, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and make sure you're subscribed, because you definitely want to be subscribed and click that notification bell so you get notified when I make these videos regarding my Independence of the Seas cruise. I wish they would kind of switch it up a little bit every now and then and do a different 4-day itinerary at least. Maybe do one that goes only to their other private island in Haiti of Labadee, or maybe a 4-day down to Cozumel. Because believe it or not, a lot of people that cruise out of Florida don't actually get to go to the Western Caribbean. So how the Gulf Coast feels about coming to the Bahamas, they really want to go to the Bahamas. Us Floridians and the people on the Atlantic coast really want to go back to Mexico or go to Mexico. So maybe switch it up every now and then. I kind of feel the same way about other cruise lines that cruise out of Florida on the shorter cruises. Maybe you need to switch it up a little bit for some of the, especially like the Port Canaveral ships. But yeah, I'm going to make a whole separate port guide video on Nassau, but the itinerary, it's great for us first-time cruisers and for first-time cruisers to Royal Caribbean. I would highly recommend finding an itinerary like that stops at Coco Cay. I absolutely loved Coco Cay. That'd be the highlight of the itinerary. But Nassau, not really my cup of tea. But that's going to do it for my top things I did not enjoy about the Independence of the Seas cruise. Other than that, I really enjoyed my first Royal Caribbean cruise, and I will be back on another Royal Caribbean ship, hopefully very, very soon. Other than that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful, informative in any way, and I will see you guys in the next video. So long!